Now, going into the spoiler half, here's how it goes down. The army arrives at the Skull Island after just being released to go to Vietnam with their sergeant, who Samuel L. Jackson plays as, who is pretty psychotic when it comes to war. Like, he thrives off the thrill of war after Vietnam. Like, he just wants to fight, 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 fight. He doesn't want to stop. He doesn't want to have peace. He doesn't want to go home. He doesn't want to live a normal life. He just wants to fight. He loves war. He loves it. So when he arrived at this island that has unknown species, he was ready with his frickin' weapon at all times, and it didn't even matter what was out there. He just killed it if it wasn't human. John Goodman's character started taking off once they arrived on the island. He knew exactly what was expected into this whole entire adventure, but nobody else was expected of it at all. Problems I'm going to go off the bat right now that I had with some of the movie was the fact that they pretty much rushed the whole thing, in my opinion, because it didn't even take that long to get into the story. Like, it didn't even take that long to actually see Kong. I thought they would, they would kind of wait on it and then build into it and then show Kong, which was expected. But right off the bat, as soon as the movie started, they just straight up showed, oh, there's Kong, there he is, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of bad. I don't think that was necessary. But anyways, as soon as, like, they were hitting the grounds and going through the entire freaking jungle of the island and stuff like that, they were under trouble with a variety of species, both dinosaur and non-dinosaur and insect. Oof. We had things like a grasshopper that was the size of a log. It was actually disguised itself as a log. And we had a giant freaking tentacle-like spider, which scared the absolute living shit out of me because I just hate giant fucking spiders. I hate them. When I saw all these different interspecies in this movie, I thought it was fantastic, and I wanted to see more. And they were talking about more different species in the movie, but they didn't even show them because it was so freaking quick just to get through. It went like this: characters, plot, island, researchers, plot, island, plan, escort, land, fight, survive, fight some more, fight, 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 survive, fight, big fight, and then ending. So in my opinion, it just I think it kind of rushed it a little bit. It had so much potential that you could spend another couple 20 minutes on it, I think. I just think they kind of died it down too much. Like, they pretty much just fucking sped through the whole entire thing. And another thing I had a problem with is just, in some of the action sequences when they were shooting giant monsters and stuff like that, they pulled out weapons that weren't on them before, like a 50 caliber mount machine gun that somehow got on somebody's backpack, and then somehow all the people who were like soldiers were apparently carrying guns, and they didn't really have a scene to be like, all right, we all got to arm up because we don't know what's out here, so here's a gun and stuff like that. Like, they didn't even show that, which I think is necessary in my opinion. And then we have a flamethrower, which I 100% know none of the soldiers had on them, but apparently as soon as it got into where they were fighting the freaking bone walkers or whatever, a freaking flamethrower showed out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? Like, what the actual hell? And then we got simple logic to where, like, if you were if this was in real life and you were stuck on an island full of different interspecies that was supposed to be extinct, and you just engaged with a giant freaking gorilla that took out your entire platoon, and you keep encountering new species, maybe the best thing to do is not attract more attention by setting off flares or explosions and whatnot, because if you didn't learn the first time, then I don't think you're going to learn anytime soon. In my opinion, I just think that, the whole survival instinct was there. Like, some things that they were doing was actual things you would do in a survival situation, but I think Jordan kind of made the actors' characters a little stupid, just from the simple fact they kept wondering, why are they getting attacked and why are they losing men? Well, I mean, if you come into a fucking island and start shooting things, you think nothing's gonna fight back eventually? Because I don't think that's the case. But pretty much, I just thought this whole entire movie in general was just amazing, especially when freaking Kong and the Bone Walker start fighting it out. It reminded me of the fight between the T-Rexes and King Kong from the first ever movie that came out in 2004 or 6, whatever time it came out. I thought it was awesome, especially given the fact that Kong has also found a connection with a female character. Again, basically still leaving out that it was beauty thus killed the beast and stuff like that. But King Kong didn't die in this movie, so My theory is that they're trying to lead into another King Kong movie because how well they think this one's going to turn out. Another speculation I have on this is that Godzilla started off with showing all the nuclear explosions that they were doing on test runs and stuff like that, and then they had sightings of boats being destroyed and stuff like that, and giant footprints, and then seeing Godzilla swimming through the water. They had the same exact thing going with King Kong, with the same exact footage and the same exact nuclear bombs and testings and whatnot, and then John Goodman's character was saying, no, they were trying to kill something in King Kong, and the same thing happened in Godzilla. They're saying, no, those weren't tests, those were fucking explosions because they were trying to kill something. My speculation, like I've been hearing through rumors, is that King Kong and Godzilla are going to freaking face off in a movie eventually. Who knows when that'll be? Don't know. I hope it's the case. I hope it's just like the movie with King Kong versus Godzilla, because that would be sick as hell. But I also have another rumor going around saying that Pacific Rim and Godzilla and King Kong are all going to fuse together, because all of a sudden their storylines all kind of meet and intertwine together if you think about it and you pay attention enough, because they both have a timeline all the way back to the past to their current present that pretty much sums up their whole entire existence. It's not a speculation to think that, you know, Godzilla and King Kong and the Pacific Rim robots don't exist in the same timeline. Better yet, maybe King Kong existed, and then all that stuff happened from Skull Island, and then it's a little bit more into time goes by, Godzilla happened, and then more time goes into the future, where Pacific Rim happens, where all these giant monsters start coming from the ground and start fucking people up in giant robot suits. It's just a theory, I think, in my opinion, but if they actually end up making all three of these movies connect, Jordan Roberts, if you can make your freaking creations, King Kong, Godzilla, and Pacific Rim come to life, I will watch it, and I will love the hell out of it. So now we're going to go ahead and get down to the rating of the movie. I know I didn't go through a lot of spoilers, because there's really not this much to spoil in that movie, in all honesty. The movie was just too fast. I think the movie was just really too fast. There was a lot of stuff that they should have explained, that they didn't explain, and I thought that was ridiculous, but, you know, things happen for a reason, I guess, in the filmmaking industry. They probably had not a lot to work with and whatnot, so if that was the case, I can't really blame them. But the thing is, it's like, there was a lot of things that weren't really answered. The only thing I was happy that they answered was John C. Reilly's character in the movie was talking about that he'd been gone for around 46 years, and nobody came and found him, and he had a wife and a kid that he heard that he was going to have before he went into war, and he doesn't know if they even exist anymore, if they even know if he exists anymore. I was really like holding on to the edge of my chair, being like, they better explain this character's like ending once he gets back home. Does he meet up with his family again, or does he not? And luckily, at the end of the movie, it shows him going home and seeing his family again. I was actually happy they put that in there, but like I said, there was a lot of plot holes that they could have fixed, but they just didn't, and they kind of rushed the whole film. But overall, really good movie. So pretty much what I'm going to give this movie, just from the fact there was a lot of freaking mistakes that they put into it, not a lot of detail, not a lot of background, really weird things happening, like weapons showing up out of nowhere and stuff like that, along with extras that weren't in there before after you counted the cast again. Somehow they were there, apparently, I don't know. But like I said, let's just go ahead and get into the freaking rating. Out of 10, Kong Skull Island is going to get a 8.5 out of 10. So it is worth going to watch if you really like the King Kong movies. And if you love Vietnam movies and such like that, go ahead and definitely go watch this film. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I'm definitely going to get it on DVD. Very well done film, done by Jordan Roberts, as usual, from Pacific Rim to Godzilla to now. I think it was really good. So that's my review on on King Kong Skull Island. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, that's all I have to share with you today, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.